you probably flush it all out.
70 cups of coffee.
Yeah, they're saying 70 cups of coffee has enough caffeine to cause you to just die. I was watching a channel called ASAP Science on YouTube. They did what we don't think about as poisonous. They're like, if you were to chew 2 cherry pits, there's enough cyanide in there to cut off the oxygen.
Well, it's the same if you chew enough apple seeds, which it would be a lot, but if you chew enough apple seeds, there's enough cyanide in there to kill you too.
But
arsenic.
They were saying
Arsenic.
the cherry pit, though, has two pits. Well, that's it. You're done? Potentially, yeah.
I mean, anything can kill you, really, at this point. You know, if you drink too much or eat too much of anything, it can kill you. But you have to, for some of these things, you have to really go.
I'd like to die of cuteness.
That's a thing.
Kitten attacks or something like that?
Yeah, like golden retriever puppies.
Aww.
Yes!
Warning. The following podcast contains language not suitable for younger listeners. You have been warned.
Now beamed from the fortified bunker below Culver City, California, this is, well, that happened.
Hello, everybody. How's it going today? Hope you are enjoying our conversation so far. Jeffrey Potts, how you doing today, my friend?
Todd Elliott, sir, I'm good. How are you?
I am pretty fantastic. A little bit tired. It's been a long week, but I'm excited to be here with you lovely folks. Sam Renderos, my brother, what is the word?
The word of the week is name shame. The point at which it's too late to ask for someone's name because you have spent so much time around them that you should already know it.
I am guilty of that in the worst bloody way.
Yeah, but this is what you do. You have a friend with you, and you go, okay, I'm embarrassed about this, but I have no idea what that person's name. Then you get the friend to go up to him and say, hi, my name's Jeff. What's your name again?
That's a great idea. Psst, Jeff.
What's your name again? So that person also doesn't know the name?
That person didn't know the name.
So basically, you're trying to throw somebody under the bus for a name shaming.
Yeah.
Name shame. Ding.
You find someone to introduce themselves.
It's the name shame.
By the way, speaking of shaming, have you guys watched the last season of Game of Thrones yet?
No.
Haley and Jeff?
No.
So, moving on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
It's pretty good.
Because it would have gotten...
Well, the funny thing is that the internet decides it's going to ruin everything for you.
That's
so.
why you have to watch everything as quickly
My
as possible.
coworkers ruined everything for me.
So what? Watch
Yeah,
it
but
anyway.
it's paid TV, so you don't always get to watch for free. And I'm not going to spend money. And no, I don't usually have the time to sit down and watch television. So
do you not have HBO Go that you pay for on your own? Under your own conscious wallet?
No, we totally do not pay for the HBO Go at our house.
What?
I think she's confused. What's your name again? I've got name shame.
I don't even remember what my name is.
Well, here's the thing. I don't have time to sit down and watch TVs. And also, here's the thing, especially with Game of Thrones, if I start watching, I'm going to keep going because it's good. It's a great effing show, and I love it. I just don't have the time. I don't want to put in that time commitment. It's like with relationships. I don't want to put in the time or the effort. Hi, Haley. into that relationship sometimes.
You hear that? Do you hear that? Haley's mom, Jeff, is not putting in the time and commitment to your
Well,
daughter.
I mean, you have to ask Haley early on in the relationship. I was very quote unquote busy for a while.
Quote unquote busy.
Quote unquote busy.
No,
I
I
know
was.
who I want to nominate for ass kick this week.
But speaking of
fantastic.
what you were going with?
No, go for it. No, I was just curious because we were talking about name shame, and so I was imagining the sequence in where they're ringing the bell and they're like saying shame. I was like name shame, ding. You don't get it because you haven't watched this season.
Sorry.
So that's why I was just asking.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. But I did have my moment of shame this week. I was at work. I pulled the hoodie from my hanger, so I was getting it on. And I went to work. And I got to work, and I threw the hoodie on the chair, preparing, sat in my chair, hanging out, getting ready for my daily amount of work. And my friend, she's a lead on another show, turns around, she goes, "Oh, what's that on the floor?" And I look down, and it looks like a pair of pantyhose. I'm like, I don't know. Well, that's weird. Those are weird. She goes, and then she has a little dog, and the dog ran over immediately and started sniffing. And I'm like, she goes, "Oh, those aren't pantyhose. Those are panties." I'm like, oh, because they're like these beige kind of colored panties. I'm like, oh, God. Like, oh, whose are those? I'm like, well, they're definitely not mine. And Shay, she was like, they're not mine. And then all of a sudden I realized, I look up, and above the panties are my hoodie. And I realized that when I was doing laundry the last week, that one of Haley's pair of underwear must have gotten into the hood or the pocket. And so when I threw it on, it fell right out onto the floor. And then I was like, oh, They, in fact, might be mine.
I wear them on the weekends. They make me feel special.
So I had to pick them up and throw them in my bag, and everyone started giving me shit. They're like, Jeff, it's okay. You can wear panties if you want. Just don't deny them. I'm like, they're not mine. They're Haley's.
That's all right. Women's underwear is soft and smooth.
It's true.
The funny thing is when he started telling me this story, I knew exactly what pair of underwear he was talking about because they do tend to cling to other shirts in the laundry.
She has them categorized.
I was gonna say, that
I do.
pair of underwear's got abandonment issues. It's very clingy. It's very clingy. Well, it's no worse for you than it was for Scott Walker this week, Jeff.
Oh, yeah?
Scott Walker, and you guys know I fucking love that guy. I nominated him for an ass kick a couple weeks ago. He's completely put his foot in his mouth. He's trying to out-Trump Trump.
Awesome.
This is genius. In a recent interview, they asked him about Donald Trump's policies because a lot of the Republican Party is threatened by Donald Trump and what Donald Trump's saying. And what Scott Walker said was, and this is not a direct quote, but it's something along the lines of, well, Trump is right. We need a wall with Mexico. We need a fence there. But more than that, we need a fence with Canada.
Because Canada is a huge problem.
That's hilarious.
Oh, my God.
First of all, Canada is huge, and they threaten me.
Right.
Well, the borderline of Canada and the U.S. also, it's not a straight line across. It's crazy zigzags and hills and everything. That would take forever to build.
And they got like 100-yard clearance of forest to
Exactly.
outline the separation between Canada and the United States. But what always strikes me as odd when it comes to talking about putting up a wall with Mexico is that they've never mentioned Canada. Scott Walker mentioning it, it's like, oh, okay, finally Canada gets some attention because, obviously there are Canadians who come over to the border who are illegal, but...
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
It goes the other way.
No. Americans leaving to Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want free
It goes
health
that
care.
way.
Yeah.
Although that explains Bieber. Maybe that's what happened.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody yesterday. I was talking about the people that the Republicans have offered up as potential nominees for president are so bottom rung. It's not even funny. You don't have anybody strong who can present a good case on why the Republicans should be the ones leading this country in the next election. It seems like they were like, how do we scrape the bottom of the barrel? Let's do that. Yes, get some Chris Christie in there, get some Bobby Jindal, get some Donald Trump. Perfect.
Well,
That's
Scott
what,
Walker,
every time
Jeb
that-
Bush.
Every time they open their mouth, it's like they're trying to alienate another group.
That's the thing. Yeah, they're just trying to sort of out-hype each other with the
Yeah.
weirdest, wackiest shit they can possibly come up with.
Well, like last week or a week before that, Jeb Bush was talking about the illegal immigrants from Mexico. And he's like, yeah, the Mexican immigrants, what they're doing is wrong. We need to stop that. They're doing it out of act of love. But the Asians who do the tourism, the birthright tourism, we got to stop that. It's like, are you kidding me? You're fine with the Mexicans, but now you're outing the Asians? What?
I think with that, we should move on. All right, it's that time of week where we present a citizen badass for you at home. You can follow us at wellthathappenedpodcast.com. Check us out on facebook.com/WTH podcast. And Jeff is going to let you know the non-specific rules.
All right, each one of us is going to bring in a nominee for some badassery. We are going to each vote on air and decide who we want to hear more about. To hear more about a particular nominee, you can chime in and let us know what you think. Alrighty, this week, my nominee for the Citizen Badass of the Week is going to be Robert Wright. He rescued his children from a fire, burning an apartment, and then ran back in to save his ribs.
Did he think that he could make another woman?
That was good.
No, but he felt like he'd have a food baby.
Nice.
Part-time Massachusetts police officer, 24-year-old Brian Johnson, lies about getting shot at his patrol car, causing it to crash and go ablaze.
Wait, how's that a badass? If he's
Because
lying.
he's a fucking idiot.
Oh, okay. Right on.
My nominee is Judge David L. Bunning of Kentucky, who this past Thursday threw his own clerk into jail for not issuing gay marriage license.
Well, I want to hear more about David L. Bunning, honestly, because I love this story, and I want to hear more about Kim Davis going to jail.
I'll agree. Let's discuss.
All right, so let's talk about this. So Kim Davis is a county clerk from Kentucky. She flatly has been refusing to issue marriages for gay weddings, in spite of court orders to the contrary. Even to the point where some couples have asked for her to be fined and taken care of, but the judge said, no, absolutely not. There are going to be special interests going after her and paying for her bills. I want her in jail. And he has thrown her in jail for not doing her job. And then he went on to say, look, I don't necessarily agree with gay marriage. However, we took an oath of office. It is our job. You have to do your job. You can't pick and choose what laws you want to follow. Therefore, issue gay marriages, licenses, or go to jail. And she straight up refused and went to jail.
What I like is that the Republicans, or at least the more extreme ones, are Donald Trump.
Huckabee is on trying to get her freed.
Yeah, he's trying to get her freed. Also, Rand Paul is saying that she shouldn't have been arrested. What they failed to realize is this is the exact same train of thought that Osama bin Laden and the extremist Islamists want. They want their God's law to overrule any secular laws, but they don't see it that way because they're saying their Christianity is under attack, and it's ludicrous.
Did you see the video?
I have not watched the video.
Okay, well, at one point, one of the reporters, she's there behind the desk, and the couple's up there, and they're trying to say, hey, we need this. And she's like, I'm not issuing the marriage license. And one of the reporters like, under whose authority do you not issue the licenses? And she looks straight at the camera and she goes, God's authority.
God's authority.
It was like, oh my, oh, Jesus, no.
There was a really interesting discussion on NPR this morning. Now, granted, this was 3 o'clock this morning when I was on my way to work, so it's a little fuzzy in my head. But it was really cool because they were talking about the history of rights of man. They were talking about Eleanor Roosevelt trying to set out the doctrine of human rights and these other things. And the reporter asked the historian, said, well, what about when rights come into conflict with each other? And the historian, the theologian? You know what I mean? The philosopher?
Right.
Dude, the logician, said, I don't think that's ever really a thing. He goes, people talk about the conflict of rights all the time. They'll say, well, what about the conflict of religion versus the conflict of the rights of people to get married, or the conflict of free speech versus the right of going into a movie theater to scream fire? He said, this is not a clash of rights. This is a clash of the expression of those rights. He said, when your rights start to infringe upon the rights of other people, he goes, that's not really a clash of rights. You have the freedom to worship the way you want, but you cannot then tell other people how to live.
Well, especially Kim Davis is an elected official. Therefore, she has to uphold the laws of the land. And their excuse of saying that the Supreme Court doesn't make laws, no, they interpret the laws to let us know how to enforce those laws. And when they state that gay marriage is legal under the Constitution, they don't have a choice of saying, well, I believe Jesus doesn't allow gays to get married, so therefore I'm not going to do it. No, you have decided to uphold the laws. Do your fucking job. That's it. There's no discussion about how you feel about things. You're hired to do a job, you're elected to do a job, and that's it.
One of the things, an addendum to the whole story is that the GoFundMe campaign, have you heard about this?
No.
They basically have changed their laws because before, with like the gay marriage with the cake people, the people with the cake, not denying gays, and other establishments trying to deny gays from entering the establishments, people would be like, well, that's wrong, we're going to boycott the business. And other people would be like, well, we'll set up a GoFundMe for this company who's now losing money. GoFundMe has now decided to change their rules if there's any sort of discrimination, any person who's broken the law of any sort like that, they cannot have a GoFundMe. So therefore, Kim Davis could not receive any money from anyone through a GoFundMe campaign or any kind of cake place or the pizza places or whatever.
The bakery in Oregon, they have to pay $137,500 to the couple that they discriminated against. And a lot of people are like, well, that's wrong. I'm like, no, because what happened is they released these women's names out into the public and they started getting death threats. And so you put them in potential physical harm, and you have to pay the price for doing that. It's not about you denying them based on your religious views. It's based on what you did as a good Christian of putting these people's lives in danger that has now put you in a position of, hey, I have to pay out of my pocket. Whoops. And trying to make it, I'm a victim. You're not a victim. You're not. You're a fucking asshole. Let's just be clear.
The most annoying part about this is in 30 years... it's all going to be smoothed back over. Everyone's going to have all the rights to get married. There's not going to be any issues and anything else. And people are going to look back at this and be like, what the fuck is wrong with all those people? And the answer is, it's William F. Buckley. William F. Buckley, a couple years ago, said, the point of the Conservative Party is to stand across the rivers of time and say, stop. And you can't do that.
Right.
That is the issue. That is the problem. You have to go with the times. You have to move on because... that's what life is. That's what humanity is. It's constantly evolving. It's constantly changing. And the closer we get to understanding each other and allowing each other to live our lives the way we want to live without infringing on your beliefs and your practices, the better off we're all going to be.
I think also what helps is the exposure to the different cultures. I think that's what changes things. And if you live in areas where you're only predominantly white people and you've not been exposed to other cultures, like in LA, you're exposed to all different types of cultures: Armenian, Chinese, Japanese, Mexican, white, black. You're in it. And so therefore I think it softens up the way you look at things, especially if you have a hard line against certain things. And they don't have that in the South or in certain areas of the country. And I think if they did, maybe they wouldn't be so crazy about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think also the internet is also widening that bridge, because before, like, a lot of communities were kind of closed off. You could only get to places if you drove through a car and stayed in these places. And the internet has just opened up everything to the point where
it's just taking the legs and just spread them.
Yeah.
It's right there.
It's just ready for a good pounding. And these ideas, these bad ideas of just segregation and bigotry, homophobia, are just getting spread open and just pounded. Oh!
Though the internet is taking some of the fun out. I mean, remember when we were kids and there was all that rumor about Richard Gere and the gerbil up his ass rumor? But now, and that was proved to be false. And the thing is about the internet, you can't have a rumor like that anymore. The fun is gone. Fun is gone.
No, it's not. It's a different kind of fun, because now you can just look it up, and if your friend has this stupid worldview, you can look it up and just rub it in their face.
You can probably find porn on there that has a gerbil up someone's ass.
No.
That's rule
30.
That's rule 34, right?
Yeah. Well, no,
we need an internet made up entirely of lies just to fuck with people. How awesome would that be?
Yeah, it's called Jenny McCarthy's site.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
It's called The Onion.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, well, good times. All right, well, nice work, kids. Let's move on.
It's time for Jeff Lies and WTH. That's right. Every single week, I'm going to bring to you 4 news articles. 1 is real. The other 3 I made up. And it is the job of my co-hosts, Todd, Sam, and Haley, to figure out which one is the real article. And you can play at home too. Let us know what you think. Send us your emails, comments at WTHpodcast.com, Facebook/
Already messing that up. It's
WellThatHappenedPodcast.com,
Facebook.com/WTHpodcast, and other social media links that we have on the main website. Let us know what you think of these bullshit stories that Jeff brings in every week.
Indeed. The theme of the week is Pimp My Ride.
You have been officially pimped. Exhibit.
Yep. All right, article number 1. Batmobile-style car fizzles during police pursuit. Article 2. Police. 2 injured when car plane fails to take off from Highway 70. Article 3. Suzuki creates big wheel-inspired ride. And Article 4. College student proudly drives Barbie Jeep after DWI arrest. Alrighty, those are the news articles. Tell me, which one is the real article? Haley.
What?
Tell it. You go first this week.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to say 3. I'm not even going to read through these. I'm going to say 3. Suzuki creates big wheel-inspired ride.
Okie doke. Todd, which one do you think is the real article?
It's not fair, Jeff, because I actually know the answer to this. I saw the article while I was doing research for the podcast.
That's okay. You know what? The whole idea is this, to see if you've been paying attention to the news. And if you have, then it should be easy for you.
All right. Well, the answer is number 4. The college student proudly drives the Barbie Jeep after her DUI arrest.
Well, yeah, that was going to be my choice, because I had also seen the article, but except I wasn't going to admit that I knew which one it was. Unlike you, Todd. I would have played along for those of you at home. But it's okay. It's okay, Todd. You can just destroy the illusion that we've created. Fuck. It's all right. It doesn't matter.
It's all right. All right, Haley, I'm sorry. That was 3 is not the answer.
Okay.
But yes, Todd, Sam, proudly drives Barbie Jeep after DWI arrest is the real article. That is the one. So good job.
That was an excellent high five.
Talk about it. Talk about the story. I'd like to hear more. I'd like the audience to know more about this awesomeness.
Well, the girl, Tara Monroe, she was arrested on March 4th on DWI charges with a $3,000 bond. She decided that riding around campus on a bicycle really, and this is her quote, sucks. So she decided she would go with the next best thing. She bought herself a big wheel, or one of those power wheels in the shape of the Barbie Jeep, and she is just driving around campus, and that's it. That's all there is to it.
Is she hot?
For her.
Is she hot?
I mean, yeah, she's a drunk college girl. They're all hot.
She should dress up like Barbie and drive the Jeep.
She is blonde, She is blonde, and I
Not all blondes look like Barbie.
When you drink enough, they are, and that's the whole point. If she's drunk enough to get a DUI charge, then you know what?
I guess if you drink enough, then you would think you were fabulous.
Yeah. She says it goes pretty fast when it's just me. I usually take them, her friends, and they walk behind her, and parents talk about their kids going out to play. I'm just happy everyone thinks this is so hilarious. That's her.
Does it have a cup holder?
I don't know if a Power Wheel has a cup holder.
Does it have Bluetooth capabilities?
If it is, it's probably one of those sippy cups.
I'm going to hope that it has a cup holder because then she can still get her drink on.
I think they do come with cup holders.
I wonder if she gets drunk and gets on the big wheel or the Power Wheel, if she can still get another DUI.
I think you can. Because, I mean, you can get in trouble for walking and being drunk.
That's true.
It's also true.
And you can get DUIs for
bicycles and
skateboards and motorcycles and ultralights and airplanes.
Heelys.
And hoverboards.
Helicopters.
Oh, did you see the Segway hoverboards?
No, I haven't.
They're like basically a Segway, but without like the main stick. It's just like the little platform. It's got two wheels.
I've seen
It's got
those.
the 2 wheels. Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, this guy, I was watching an unboxing video because I was trying to find a story for this, and he decided he was going to jump on it like he would a regular skateboard. Just got it out of the thing, was like kind of figuring it out. He's like, "Oh, this is great," and he jumps on it, snaps it in half. I was like, "Oh
that
man,
sucks, 'cause
I was
those
walking-
are not cheap.
no."
I was walking to work and a guy almost ran me over on one of those. I was not happy.
A Segway or the hoverboard thing?
The two-wheel Segway
Yeah,
thing.
the two-wheel Segway thing.
Okay, well
Yeah.
they all have 2 wheels. That's the thing.
I know, but it's not a Segway with a stick.
It's the hover. I don't know.
It's not really a
stickless.
hoverboard though.
No,
so
it's
it
not.
doesn't
It's just like a board, but it's without the main stick.
I
where you
don't
can-
know. It's something
The
else for me to hate.
The stickless
so.
Segway.
Okay.
What do you think about a college girl being on a big wheel? Let us know. WillThatHappenPodcast.com. We will read your comments if we have any.
You know what the issue is with that though? There's no backseat. Moving on.
It's that time of week where one person is going to get their ass kicked. It happens every week, people. You know what to do. Go to WillThatHappenPodcast.com and drop us a line of what you think or who you think needs their ass kicked. Jeff, give us the fucking rules.
All right, each host has 1 minute on the clock to present their nominee for the ass kickery. Rule number 2 is that there will be no dead children, even though I flipped that around. Rule number 3 is that no host can vote for themselves. And rule number 4, we came up with a new one, and I can't remember what it was now.
Jeff can't win. Oh, that's right.
No, that's definitely not the rule.
Well, let's just skip
I
it.
can't remember the 4th non-rule either.
Yeah, we came up with a new one last week or the week before.
I don't remember. Doesn't
Man,
matter.
it's so good that we keep track of everything here.
Yeah.
We're,
well,
we're
whatever.
really organized.
Oh well, we'll figure it out again. Because I'm
Right.
sure one of you bastards will break it.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna go first.
Okie doke. Hang on 1 second.
It's been a while since I've gone first.
Well, it's because you've been winning more consistently, so you have to be punished.
I remember the rule. It was that whoever wins the rule or can be changed based on people's votes.
That's
That's
it.
right. Well done, Haley.
That's
That's
right.
right. You at home can change the rules.
Okay. Todd, Elliot, are you ready, sir?
No, but I'm as ready as I'm gonna be.
Alrighty. So 3, 2, 1. Ass kick.
The people I would like to see get their ass kicked are the recent graduates from West Point. Why? Because every year West Point has a tradition of a giant pillow fight in the yard when they end their summer training. Because they're blowing off steam and they're having a good time. Well, this year, some of the cadets thought it would be a great idea to put their fucking combat helmets into their pillowcases. Ending up with 30 cadets from West Point getting hospitalized from a fucking pillowcase fight. This is absolutely ridiculous. Look, you guys are supposed to have this pillow fight just to blow off steam and to have a little fun after some grueling summer training, and you went out with combat helmets which stop bullets and were hitting each other with it. You jerks need to get your ass kicked for not understanding what fun is and for having a mean-spirited sense of meanness.
Okay, with 5 seconds left on the clock. You know, it's funny. I saw that story, but I didn't read it. I didn't know they put helmets in their pillowcases.
I wouldn't even want to do a pillow fight, honestly. I'd rather go blow my load by blowing my load
Put it in a hooker.
in the hooker. Why not?
Yeah.
Shit.
I don't think they're allowed off campus is the issue.
Simba.
It's a traditional sort of-
Well, that's a callback from last week's Word of the Week.
That's a good man. I gotta tell you, I really like that one.
See that's a great ploy. Let's have on-campus hookers.
Yeah, nice.
Well,
know?
first we got to legalize prostitution, then we can have on-campus hookers.
No. Let's one problem at a time here, Sam. One problem at a time.
I think hookers originally were legal because they just follow around General Hooker.
They did. Actually, I'm not sure if that's true, but they were on the railroad, the Union Pacific and stuff like that. They would follow along to help alleviate the men's stress and potential
See,
death.
what you do is you allow the hookers to be on campus or whatever, and that proves why they're such a good thing to have. Then you can legalize it.
Right.
Right, and you have to have male hookers and female hookers because you have to, play fair for everybody.
Right.
I am bordering on 100% positive that the reason they're called hookers is because they used to run around with General Hooker during the Civil War as camp girls.
They could have been running around with hooks in their hand trying to
Yeah.
get people who didn't pay them their cash. So you don't know that.
I feel like the pickup line should have been, can I polish your ramrod? But, hey.
I always thought it was a fishing reference. They cast the line out there and then pull something back, basically.
Hook whatever they can.
Hook whatever they can.
Well,
and
they
then
certainly are masturbators.
God,
Wow.
Alrighty.
imagine the dilderns you can make out of their ashes.
Damn. That
That's
story's never
assuming
that.
you don't have a name shame.
All right. Jesus.
Simba.
I'll go next if you'd like.
Jeffrey, name shame Potts.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
No, who are you?
I'm Sam.
Fuck.
There we go. On your mark. Get set. Get your time on.
Alrighty. The person who I think needs their ass kicked is Tennessee Judge Jeffery Atherton. It was Thomas and Pamela Baumgartner. They were married on November 2002, and they decided to file for divorce in September of 2014, citing irreconcilable differences. Though Jeffery Atherton decided that he was going to deny the couple's divorce petition. Why? He said, the Supreme Court has not clarified, quote, when a marriage is no longer a marriage. With the Supreme Court having defined what is to be recognized as a marriage, it would appear that Tennessee judiciary must now wait a decision of the Supreme Court to see what is not a marriage. So this guy basically is saying, hey, since the Supreme Court is deciding what is a marriage, that they have to decide what is not a marriage. So therefore, he is not going to give these people their divorce. These poor people just want to get their rocks off with somebody else, let them have their divorce, and this guy needs his ass kicked.
With 2 seconds left on the clock, Jeff got his story done.
Jesus,
Haley
you're
was dying.
waving the fucking timer in front of my face. I have enough time speaking as it is.
It was hilarious. Everyone thought it was hilarious.
Apparently, they think that I didn't script this, so I'm trying to read it off my poorly contrived notes.
Everyone thought it was hilarious.
You did a great job.
You did actually.
That's how you say it. You did a great job.
It was just funny.
was the helium.
I can't even show it because this is radio.
I mean,
I'm sorry, Jeff. It was just really funny.
yeah, I get it. All right, who's going next? Sam, you're going next. You're the last person.
That's
so.
right. It is I, the one, the
one.
only, Sam. That's it. That's all I got. All right.
Ball Pit Renderos. All right, are you ready?
Simba.
Ball pit?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Money pit.
No.
Oh, I know. I know what you mean. Like at the Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
I got
Those are
for whatever
disgusting.
reason, I was thinking about a place for him to put his testicles.
What?
Next week's word of the week: ball pit.
All right. Are you ready, Sam?
I am.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Ass kick.
On Friday, Damon Wayans made an appearance on Power 105.1's The Breakfast Club, a radio station in New York. The reason he needs his ass kicked is because he decided to defend Bill fucking Cosby. He was on the radio program saying that if you look at some of these women, they look unrapeable. He also questioned why some of the women waited so long to say anything, even though some women had come out decades before it came to light, thanks to Hannibal Buress and his comedy routine. He also referred to some of these women as bitches. Damon Wayans needs his ass kicked, but because he doesn't understand how difficult it is for some people to come forward and face their rapist. And we don't know the situation clearly, but at the same time, don't disrespect people because you have your preconceived notions of what women are. And for that reason alone, Damon Wayans, you need your ass kicked.
Yep, and 1 second left on the clock. Well done.
That's a shame because I really liked the last Boy Scout.
Okay, never mind. That answers my question. I was like, which one's Damon?
Yeah, Damon Wayans is also the one who had My Wife and Kids.
My Wife and Kids and
I didn't see that.
Major Pain and all of that.
I didn't see that. Oh, I saw Major Pain. That was funny.
Major Pain was terrible.
The only part I really remember when he was like, I'm going to kick you in the head. But Last Boy Scout was a great film.
That was a good movie. But I think that Damon Wayans needs his ass kicked. I think that Damon Wayans needs his ass kicked for that, because while putting a combat helmet in a pillowcase is a stupid idea, I'm sure at some point they're going to get hazed and get their ass kicked at some point. So I'm going to go with Damon Wayans for saying that, for defending Bill Cosby for one thing. That's a bad idea to begin with, because you should just abandon that ship right away. And then calling rape victims bitches and saying that whatever the fuck he said. You know what? Just
yeah,
kick
he
his
said
ass.
some of them look unrapeable.
Yeah, that's pretty much god awful. So he needs his ass kicked.
I am going to play the ace I have up my sleeve. I'm going to vote for Tanner. Tanner gave us a story this week, boys.
Oh.
And he put it on Facebook. Here it is. I'm going to try to read it as fast as I can to keep it under the 1 minute mark.
Oh, should we time it?
If you want, I'm going to go really fast.
All right, so 3, 2, 1, Tanner.
This week, the United States Army needs their ass kicked. Why? Because they are dishonorably discharging a Green Beret because he beat up an Afghani police commander after learning that the commander was raping a young village boy. This happened after 2 equally disturbing incidents. Another Afghan officer was caught raping a young girl, and a different Afghan police commander allowed the murder of a 12-year-old girl for kissing a boy. You may ask, why shouldn't the Afghan police have their ass kicked instead of the U.S. Army? It's simple. We are the United States of America. We are to be held to a high standard. An elite military member did what most of us would have done after learning about this heinous act. Instead of being praised for the protection of an innocent young boy, he is being dishonorably discharged and likely stripped of his 2 Bronze Star medals, one of which was for valor. We spent billions of dollars to train elite warriors to protect our nation and innocent people around the world. Apparently, the Army forgot that crucial detail in this case.
All right, well, with 14 seconds left on the clock, there it is. Well, that's depressing, too.
Listen, I'm not saying that what the Green Beret did wasn't respectable, but at the same time, if there are appropriate channels for punishing people who do disgusting acts, he should have had more composure, though I don't disagree. I'm not saying I wouldn't beat the shit out of this guy. So I don't know. It's complicated for me in terms of how laws are laws and there's rules and stuff, and I fucking hate you, Tanner. Fuck. Tanner's gonna get my vote. God damn it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. There's 2 rapes here, and it's hard to say which one is worse. Even though I technically already voted for Sam, I'm going to keep that vote just because, you have 2 rape victims, and I think Sam set it up. There are ways to go about protecting the laws and protecting these people, and I think that Damon Wayans still needs his ass kicked because he's not going to see anything. This guy should not have been dishonorably discharged for beating up a child rapist.
No, because he had an emotional reaction, of course. And I think they should have looked at it and understood that, you know what, he had an emotional reaction. This guy's a piece of shit, and we'll let this slide. They didn't let it slide, and so I'm like, fuck. That's why it makes it difficult for me, because at that point, like I said, there are the laws. Yeah,
it's difficult because you can't say that one rape is better than another rape because it's not. Clearly, they're both terrible. But again, I think this guy overreacted a little bit in a sense where he should have had more composure, like Sam said. Again, I'm going to keep going with my Damon Wayans vote.
Way to stick with your guns. Yeah, I'm still going to keep voting for Tanner just because.
Okay. No, it's hard. It's hard. It's really hard.
Even though from now on, I'm going to propose that we include rape. Because rape in our rules, because that's just...
Right.
That falls along the dead children line, and I just feel like rapists, of course, need to get their ass kicked, and some version thereof.
Yeah, because, for me, it's, Damon Wayans. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're defending somebody. It'd be like somebody coming out and saying, well, Jared Fogel's not that bad. The parents, they let their kids go and see Jared Fogle. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's not...
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin's parents.
What?
I know what he's talking about.
Because Macaulay Culkin's parents always send him to go spend the night with Michael Jackson.
Oh, that's right.
Macaulay Culkin also does say that Michael Jackson never touched him. Ever.
I know, but you're ruining my joke.
I'm sorry.
Way to step all over it, Sam.
Sorry. But that's the thing. Like, I don't understand when people automatically assume that because a woman comes forward with rape, or even a gentleman, that they're looking for some sort of monetary gain out of it, or some sort of popularity thing. Like, oh, they're just saying because, it makes that other person look bad, it makes them look better. Like, what? No, it's difficult to be put in a position where you have no say of what happens to your person, and then when finally you see other people who will take a stand, you come forward and say, you know what, this also happened to me, because now you realize you're not alone, and for people to then look at them and just be like, fuck you, you're a whore, you shouldn't have put yourself in that position, fuck you, like, what?
Yeah, it is terrible it is terrible that rape is still a hard thing. Rape is bad. And it's made even worse by the stigma that is attached to it. Women are afraid to come forward because of the punishments they're going to get, the way they're going to be looked at by society, the way that they are treated. And we do, as a society, we are not good at that.
No,
and it's terrible. It's it's a horrible, horrible thing that this sort of behavior is allowed to happen, because that's what we are doing. As a people, we are allowing rapists to get away with this heinous, heinous act because we are stigmatizing and going after the poor girls who have done nothing wrong.
Let us know who you think needs their ass kicked. Well, that happened podcast.com, facebook.com/WTH Podcast, Instagram, Twitter, WTH Podcast. Let us know what your thoughts are. We'd love to hear from you. There are going to be some rule changes to the ass kicking because clearly we are not responsible enough. We're always going for the win on something. Tanner,
that is a really good one. I wasn't aware of that story until Tanner brought it up.
I had heard about it. It's just that was pretty bad. It's just I hadn't come to that conclusion yet. He was just going before the jury when I had first heard about it, but he hadn't been discharged yet.
So what have we learned, boys?
I learned that rape is bad, and that when you stand up for rapists, the army will discharge you. Stand up for rapists?
No, stand up for victims.
For rapees. For the rape victims. You know what the fuck I meant. I learned that I am terribly guilty of name shame, even with what's her name over there, Jeff's girlfriend.
It's Harley.
Harley.
Yeah, Harley.
Yeah, close enough.
And I love coffee.
There you go. I learned that the Republicans are self-destructing a little bit. They can't keep their mouths shut. The people keep trying to deny the gays the right to marry and have any of their freedoms. That rape is bad and we need to have a rule on that because that's too easy of a win. It's a little bit of low-hanging fruit. It's now become the new low-hanging fruit, and yeah. And you guys actually knew about the Barbie car.
That's right. I also learned that the Republican Party is clearly self-destructing at this point in time, and they are just trying to name-shame each other into oblivion. I learned that Kim Davis is part of the religious extreme that doesn't understand that we don't have religious rule for a particular reason. So, I mean, really, extreme religion in this country has gotten to a point where you guys are going to be the next ISIS. Really. Because you guys aren't separating the fact that you can believe what you want to believe, then live your life. Just be happy living your life. Just because you don't agree with other things. If you're a government official, just do your job. Shut your mouth, and you can bitch about it once you're off the clock. You can be a homophobe if you want. Go take care of that shit on your own. And that's pretty much what I've learned.
And that's what that judge said. Which, look, the judge said... Bunning. He said, I don't agree with the gay marriage either, which, whatever, but he's from Kentucky. But the fact is, he was like, look, it's the law and we have to do it. And then he was willing to take it to the extreme to lay down on the side of law. So even though I don't agree with his point of view, the fact that he was willing to do that means, he's a righteous judge and good for him.
Yeah.
Right?
And so with that, you guys have a nice Labor Day because it will be Labor Day when you get to listen to this program. And with that...
Oh, yeah, fuck. I fucking hate... Look, Labor Day pisses me the fuck off because the rich people, the professionals, they're the ones who get the time off. The actual laborers still have to go to work and sling fucking groceries and coffee and manure and shit. And we're the fucking laborers in this world. And we're the ones who don't get a goddamn day off. And because our company will not let us unionize, we don't even get any sort of time and a half bonuses or double time because it's a goddamn holiday. We go into work for our normal goddamn minimum wage, slinging shit into your paper bag so you can drown your dolphin piece of shit assholes.
And with that, well, that happened.
Wow.